Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Ayesha from CxO Global Forum, a knowledge sharing platform for all the C-levels across Pakistan and around the globe. Every time we have some very interesting guests with us. Today as well, we have Sir Hammad Rasool with us, who is the co-founder and director at Xpert Digital. Assalamualaikum sir, how are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm good. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here today.
How was your day?
As usual, hectic.
Likewise. Right. Sir, I would want you yourself to introduce Hammad Rasool to our audience.
Okay, so like you said, my name is Hammad Rasool. I'm the co-founder and director of Xpert Digital, Enum Technology Solutions, and Enum Digital. So I run three companies, and the flagship company is Xpert Digital, through which we have been creating differentiation in the market.
Right. So what inspired you to co-found Xpert Digital particularly?
So I used to be a banker, and I used to actually manage large banking transformational projects. And you know that nowadays most of the banks, when they are transforming, one of the critical component is technology. What I figured out was that most of the technology companies, they were too techies, not knowing the banking business, not having the domain expertise. So that was a point where I thought, let me incorporate a company which is going to be expert in banking, which is going to advise the banks how to transform using technology. And hence, Xpert Digital was incorporated.
Right. So can you share a bit about your background before you started Xpert Digital?
Yeah, so I am actually a computer science graduate, and after
Right.
doing my graduation, I started working in a tech company, and after
Mhm.
that, I moved into a bank, and since then, I've been a banker. In 2018, I left the bank, one of the largest banks in the region, and I joined and started my own company, which is Xpert Digital today.
Right. So what are some of the key challenges that you faced in the early days of Xpert Digital?
I think every business, when you start, the first challenge is sales, obviously. And we were into
Right.
banking, and banks are typically very, very protected industry. They're very mature, and they, are reluctant to try new players. So obviously, the first challenge was how to get into the banks and how to get business out of that. The second challenge was that we were mostly working with Middle Eastern banks, and the cost of service is very high in GCC. So we had to open up our development centers in Pakistan. That was another challenge.
Right. So how did you come up with this name, Xpert Digital?
So we are a digital banking transformation company, and we feel that we are an expert in this domain, and hence the name Expert Digital.
Right. So what do you find most rewarding about you yourself working at Xpert Digital?
I think it's the customer feedback. Most of our clients are very, very happy clients, and
Right.
that gives us a feeling that we are doing it right, right, and that's probably the reward for us.
Regarding this customer feedback, can you describe a particular memorable project or achievement at Xpert Digital that also has considered for you an award?
I think now we have various and multiple, success stories, but the first one was, like 6 7 years back when we started our first project in Ethiopia, and we were, creating a first digital bank in Ethiopia. That was something, that was really big, and that helped us getting a lot of business in Africa.
Right. So I guess I'll move on to the next question then. Uh, in the field of IT, how do you stay updated with the latest trends and technologies that are best in digital banking experiences?
I think one thing is that we strongly believe is that change is inevitable. If you don't change, you
Right.
will be changed. we keep on looking at new things, new innovative ways. We keep exploring, we keep experiencing, and I think then we adopt to those changes. That's how probably we are one of the most innovative companies who will keep innovating new and new stuff in technology.
Right. So, what qualities do you believe are essential for a successful entrepreneur or a piece of advice for building entrepreneurs?
Firstly, entrepreneurship is a difficult journey. Unlike a paid job, this requires a lot of qualities, leadership qualities, consistency, persistently doing the same thing. Typically, what I advise is there are three things that any entrepreneur should consider. One, focus. Number two,
Right.
hard work, and number three, consistently doing it, right? And then comes the
Right.
direction. If your direction is right, you'll get the right results. If your direction is not right, you'll not get the right results.
Right. So, could you please elaborate a bit on how to set one's direction? I mean, there must be a few points where you could know how to set your direction according to what your interests are.
Yeah, so that's this question doesn't have a yes or no answer, so I cannot give a complete answer to it. Direction. So let's say a new entrepreneur starts a new business, right? And while doing that, he need to consider the market, what is happening in the market, how the market
Mhm.
is changing. In some
Right.
cases, you will start a business, then the demographics will change, the market environment will change. So you have to adopt to that change. So you need to continuously see your direction and correct it. And obviously, you can consult with experienced entrepreneurs to learn from their learnings.
Right. So how do you foster a positive and innovative company culture at Expert Digital?
So it's actually not me. I give them vision and then they execute. We do have our marketing teams and employee
Mhm.
happiness managers in our company. But what I try to do is two things. One, I give them a clear career path which they
Right.
will grow through. And the secondly, I make sure that every employee knows what they have to do and what they have to achieve. I believe that
Right.
if people know what they have to do, they will do it. And then
Right.
upfront, they're also told about the reward that they are going to be given once they achieve what they have to do.
Mhm. Right. So can you share an example of a significant learning experience from a failure or a setback?
So, in our dictionary or definition, there is nothing called failure. It's try again, right? And yes, in a lot of cases, we were not successful first time. But what we do is we sit back, we understand, we discuss what were the learnings, what went wrong, how can we correct it, and then we try again. I believe that
Right.
failures are a gold mine of learning. Every failure, or I would say phase one of it, teaches you a lot of things which will make you
Mhm.
successful in phase two.
Right. So how do you balance your professional and your personal life?
Personally, I do not believe on work-life balance. Yes.
Okay.
But I do consider people when it comes to work-life balance. And I will tell you why, because I believe that exceptional success cannot be without anxiety, without stress, without a lot of hard work. It comes
Right.
with a cost, and the cost you pay from your time, which would be your family time. But I also understand that not everybody wants exceptional success. There are some people who want to have a balanced approach. They want a modest success plus a modest life. So there are different things for different people. But for me, I would say these that work and life, these are mutually exclusive events. You cannot have it together.
Right. Okay. So what are your future goals for Expert Digital and for yourself as well?
So let me specifically talk about Xpert Digital. So we have been one of the fastest growing company uh, in the region. I think we have successfully in expanding from the extreme right on the map, which is the Indonesia, Australia, Singapore, to the extreme left, which is the Americas. And we have been doing some great work in different regions. I
Right.
think we will continue to do that. And this time, we will focus more on vertical growth.
Right. So outside of work, what are some of your hobbies or interests that you're passionate about? Which,
I'm a very passionate traveler. I've been
right,
to a lot of places worldwide, and I still love to do that. If I get some time, I just pack up my bags. Normally, I pack up my bags for business, but I go out and explore a new country end to end, explore the people, understand what the culture is, how the religion is, what they follow, and that's something that makes me excited.
right. So, sir, before we wrap up, what are some of the key takeaways that you want our listeners to remember from your journey?
I think one of the most important thing that probably since most of the people who are listening to this are paid employees, or they are employees, I would say. The one thing that in life, if you can manage, that guarantees success, and that is fear. So in
Right,
professional terms, I would say, if you're afraid of taking risk, you will never be successful. If you want to grow, you have to take risk. And when you take risk, the first thing that kills you is the fear of failure. Once you accept that failure is going to come and then you will try again, you have the courage to take risk, and that's where your progression starts in life.
right. Done with this short introduction here, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I hope that our viewers would be able to learn from your journey as much as I did. Thank you once again for your time.
So much, Aisha. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Likewise. Here.